Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Wardell, music director and conductor of the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, and I'm coming to your computer screen, your phone, your tablet, however you're seeing this today, to talk a little bit about opening night. This year is October 21st at 7:30 at the Reilly Arts Center. It's a great concert for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, we're celebrating our first anniversary, our first full year of being in the Reilly. The orchestra has been able to do some pretty incredible concerts since we've been in there. The Reilly itself has had over 42,000 people in its doors in just the first 11 and a half months. And by the time I see you in a week or two after I've recorded this, maybe that'll be 43 or 44,000, who knows. But anyways, so it's a really special concert because of that, but it's also special because of the music we're playing. The first piece we're doing on the program is Richard Strauss's Dance of the Seven Veils from Salome. And what I love about all the music in this program is that each piece is inspired, the story or something was inspired by something non-musical. And of course, with Dance of the Seven Veils, that's from the Bible, from the book of Matthew, one of my favorite books. And in the book of Matthew, there's about 10 verses that deal with Salome and the dance. And of course, King Herod offers his niece Salome a gift, any gift she wants, for her doing a dance, a special dance for a birthday party that's going on. And then Strauss took that sort of the inspiration for his opera, and he wrote this Dance of the Seven Veils. It's very seductive. It's very very interesting. If you remember the piece Ishtar we did last year, where as the goddess Ishtar had to descend into the levels of hell to save her lover, she had to remove a piece of clothing. Well, this is very similar, the Dance of Seven Veils. At each dance, one of her 7 articles of clothing or one of her 7 veils comes off. I promise I won't be removing any clothing, and neither will our dancers, because we will have live dancers from Dance Alive National Ballet with us on stage so that we really feel that seductive nature of the piece. And working with Dance Alive, it's another benefit that the Reillys brought us. They're our resident ballet company. If you haven't been to any of their shows, they're fantastic. There's so much emotional content in what they do. They're just fantastic. And I'm so glad they'll be joining us on stage for this first piece. I've never been a huge ballet guy. And I've seen Nutcracker 3 or 4 times. I've seen it here in town. I love the production we have at the Civic Theater with the Marianne Ballet. But when I saw Dance Alive's Nutcracker, I literally got goosebumps and emotional about the performance. And it's Nutcracker, right? It's not supposed to be this heavily emotional thing. But there's something about the way they dance and the energy that they put in that is absolutely inspiring. So I know you'll love the first piece with them dancing with us, and I hope you'll come see some of their other shows in the coming months. But anyways, I'm really happy about that collaboration. I know you're going to love Dance of the Seven Veils. If you haven't heard it before, it's 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how excited we get by the dancing. Probably closer to the 8-minute mark, and it's a really exciting piece. The second piece on the program is going to be Rachmaninoff's Isle of the Dead, and again, inspired by an extra musical thing, and that's a Brooklyn painting called Isle of the Dead, or the Toteninsel. And here's a postcard of it. You can kind of see the light's pretty good there. It's dark. This is actually a postcard I got from the Kunstmuseum in Basel, the Art Museum in Basel. Beautiful museum, incredible museum actually, and a great city with so many museums. I think it's supposedly has the most museums per capita of any city in the world. But this particular painting, a copy or one of the copies of it is there, and Brooklyn did many of this subject matter, and there's maybe like 11 of them total, and there's some in New York, there's obviously in Basel, and there's some in Germany and other places, but it's Rachmaninoff was inspired by the painting and the idea of this Isle of the Dead, a place where the dead would go after they pass on, and they're brought there by a boat, with the oarsmen. What's interesting musically about the piece, it's about 16 to 18 minutes long. Again, depending on if we've cooled off from the Seven Veils or not. But what's neat about it is in 5. It's in the meter of 5. It says it's 5/8. As opposed to 4 or 3 or 2, which are pretty common. You think of a march like 1, 2, 1 and 1 and 2 and 1, 10, 2, or a waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or even a different piece of music. Think of like Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, or something like that. This piece is in 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, which kind of immediately puts you in a different place. Because you can't really walk to that. If you try to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, you start getting off. So you actually feel like you're in this boat, and you can almost imagine yourself going to this Isle of the Dead, which is kind of exciting. I'm going to start speeding this up a little bit because I can tell I'm already getting kind of long. But I know you'll love this piece, the Rachmaninoff Isle of the Dead. After intermission, we're going to play Charles Griffiths' 3 poems of Fiona MacLeod. Fiona MacLeod's a pseudonym for the Irish or Scottish poet William Sharp, and Mr. Sharp would use the name Fiona MacLeod depending on what subject matter he was writing. And what's interesting is even when he had to correspond with someone who really thought there was a Fiona MacLeod, he would actually dictate to his sister, who would then write in a more feminine handwriting the letter or the manuscript or whatever he needed to send out, which was pretty interesting. But the 3 poems were being joined by my dear friend Anna Foyt, an incredibly powerful and beautiful soprano. She's currently in Virginia. She sang with us for Fledermaus. She's been with us with Messiah and all kinds of other roles. And she's just a fantastic singer. And if you don't know Griffiths' work, we've done a couple of his pieces. He's one of my favorite composers, an early American composer, only lived till he was about 35. So unfortunately, and this is one of the last pieces he wrote before he died. He chose 3 poems: "The Lament of Ian the Proud," "Thy Dark Eyes to Mine," and "The Rose of the Night," and put them for soprano and orchestra. Imagine Debussy, but on even more of a little bit of a steroid, or imagine even Rachmaninoff, but with just this beautiful color. It's an incredible work, and the way Anna's voice is going to come through the orchestra, particularly in our hall, is pretty exciting. The last piece in the program is Mazursky's Pictures from an Exhibition. This was a piece that is actually originally a piano work that has been transcribed or orchestrated for orchestra by dozens and dozens of composers since it was written. Mazursky actually never really got a full orchestration himself done. The most famous one, and the one we're doing, is the orchestration by Ravel. We all know Ravel, who is a master orchestrator. He really knew what melody would sound best on which instruments and in which register, and combined with what other instruments, and all those things. It's a great piece, also inspired by other works, and it was paintings. And unfortunately, these paintings don't survive anymore today. So what we're doing is I've actually got a good friend of mine who's putting together some time-lapse photography to go with the works. And this will be projected over the orchestra as we play each of the pieces. It's a really cool way to feel this work and interpret this work. Sometimes with these pieces, like Pictures of an Exhibition, we get sort of trapped into that one recording we heard, when we were kids, or that one version we saw, with the Chicago Symphony or whatever. And with us putting the time-lapse photography and trying to bring a new light, literally, to this piece, I think you're really going to enjoy it. And I can't think of a better piece to happen in the Reilly. It's just the final movement of it, the Great Gates of Kiev, is just expansive and big and beautiful, and it's a great way to celebrate our first anniversary. So again, I really hope you'll join us October 21st at 7:30. You can go to ReillyArtsCenter.com or OcalaSymphony.com to buy tickets. Of course, call our box office. I think you're in for a lot of treats this season, and in particular, this first concert I think is going to really get us off to a great start. I can't wait to see you guys. I miss you so much. I miss seeing our audience. I miss our musicians. We had auditions, by the way. I know I need to go because you need to go. But we had auditions a few weeks ago, and I have some fantastic new members of the orchestra that I can't wait for you all to meet. So take care. God bless you. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.